And our lead story is monsoon fury that's being felt across North India. The big worry is in the hills. Well, there you can see Himachal and Uttarakhand are the worst affected. In fact, in Himachal, a key highway, the Mandi-Kullu highway, was blocked, and that led to several vehicles being washed away as well. In fact, transport and mobility is a big concern, given that roads are affected, several trains are cancelled, and this is a time when Himachal and Uttarakhand both see a lot of tourists as well. So they are stranded, they are facing a lot of difficulty. Landslides are a big worry as well. There in Himachal, there's a flash flood warning for the next 24 hours as well. So these are visuals that we're getting you from Himachal and Uttarakhand. Landslides are a big worry. People are stranded there, and efforts are also on to, in a sense, shift people to safer areas, given the fact that infrastructure is, in a sense, collapsing, given the fact that it's just the onset of monsoon. And moving from the hills to the plains, well, in Haryana as well, the impact of heavy rain is being felt. People got stranded in an overflowing river, and a car was dragged off by the current. In fact, a dramatic rescue operation was also caught on camera. These are visuals of that. A woman who parked her car on the bank of the Ghagar river was inside it when it got dragged away. Her vehicle got carried away as she parked it on the river bank. Fortunately, the woman was rescued and taken to a hospital. She was saved, and there you can see that dramatic rescue operations by people there. So the impact of heavy rain being felt in Haryana as well. And moving to other parts of India, well, in the northeast as well, there's heavy rain. Flash floods are a big worry there in the northeast as well. And in Delhi and Mumbai, well, civic apathy is being exposed, given the fact that a woman was electrocuted here amid heavy rains in Delhi while she was at the railway station there in Delhi. In Mumbai as well, several parts are flooded and waterlogged. There's the yellow category alert for Mumbai as well. Heavy rain continues in Mumbai, in several parts of Mumbai. In fact, 2 labourers had died there as well. And when I'm being joined by special guests on the broadcast to talk about, the weather fury, and also, in a sense, how there's no end to civic apathy. Dr. K.J. Ramesh, former Director General of the Indian Meteorological Department, is joining us, and G.P. Sharma, President of Meteorology and Climate Change of SkyMet, is with us. And also with us to talk about, the infrastructure angle and the civic apathy angle, we have Dr. Kunwar Sen, who is the former Mayor of the Municipal Corporation of Delhi. Thanks all very much for joining us on the broadcast. Let me go across, Mr. G.P. Sharma, to you first. It's very interesting that monsoon has hit both Delhi and Mumbai at the same time, and this is for the first time in many years, in fact many decades, that monsoon has arrived in Bombay and Delhi at the same time. How significant is that, and what is the pattern of the monsoon that you're seeing going ahead?
Vedant, as we see, the weather conditions have they've taken a big twist. Monsoon has taken a big leap. Monsoon, it has its fury. That's over northern parts that you covered, as well as the west coast also. Okay, the Mumbai and Delhi, yes, it's way back, decades back, when the monsoon arrived together, simultaneous. Otherwise, monsoon arrival over Mumbai earlier used to be about 10th June and 11th of June now, and Delhi used to be 30th of June, 29th, and now it's 27th June. Okay, It's a big relief, I say. Okay, because the monsoon otherwise was a little disappointing over most parts of the country, especially only that cyclone brought some good rains or heavy rains, that too not very beneficial over Gujarat and Rajasthan because it did more damage. But other parts, they were scorching, I will say then. Parts which needed rains, most monsoon rains, they were waiting like anything, particularly the central parts, Maharashtra, even the southern parts, I will say, Telangana, Karnataka. But then Kutsi, this low pressure area which has formed and moved now inland, this will give good rains. Monsoon, as I said, has taken a big leap. I think in a couple of days, before time, it should cover entire country. The last coast of Rajasthan also should be covered very soon. Yes, Vedant.
Right, so it's significant that you're saying that before time it should cover, most parts of India. But Dr. Kunwar Sen, if I can go across to you, you've worked in the NCD with the former mayor of Delhi. In fact, every time the monsoon arrives, there's some various cases of civic apathy that come to the fore. In fact, we just saw yesterday a woman was electrocuted because, apparently it was a live wire that killed her. She was carrying 3 children with her, and such kinds of things, not only in Delhi, but also in Mumbai. We saw 2 laborers die. Bengaluru, of course, becomes a huge infrastructural mess, as the monsoon progresses. Going beyond the politics, how do we think how should we prepare and brace for monsoon, and make sure that there are no infrastructural, losses, in the sense that every year we see that all the states incur losses, there is loss of lives because of some infrastructural problem. How should we brace for the monsoon?
Vedanji, good morning to you, to all the panelists. The case as far as the monsoon is concerned, monsoon is well in time and this was very well awaited by the Delhi people also and the people outside Delhi also. As far as monsoon is concerned, we cannot blame my monsoon. This is rainy season, rain has to be there. But as far as the infrastructure is concerned, they have not been taken care of by the concerned agency like Delhi government or corporation in Delhi. Let me confine myself to the Delhi only because I am supposed to speak for the Delhi because as far as part of the country, the concerned department will speak for them. As far as the Delhi is concerned, they have not taken care of. They are basically concerned with their own problems like.
But Dr. Sen, going beyond the politics, because it's not only in this year that we are seeing such kind of instances. Earlier as well, we've seen. Yeah,
I am not blaming any political party, but as far as this, the infrastructure has to be taken care of well in time. There are earlier also there used to be heavy rain in Delhi, but this type of problems has not been arising in Delhi. As you said, the 3 casualties are there in Delhi. It's a very unfortunate situation. But as far as you see, Gita Colony Nala, which is called Master Plan Nala, has been started right now. They have started day before yesterday only. They have started cleaning it. As far as Nalas are concerned, they come under flood control. They come under PWD and the other agencies, MCD.
Right.
They have not touched these nalas at all. So then who is responsible? I'm not blaming any political party, but as far as these problems are concerned, they have to be taken care by the concerned agencies. Like MCD should do his work, but they are moving just to save their government. He's moving to Patna, he's moving to, but he's not taking care of Delhi. As far as monsoon is concerned, monsoon has been welcomed by most of the people. I have read in the newspaper, most of the Kisan, they are welcoming monsoon. This is well in time. This is very useful for them. But as far as Delhi is concerned, they have not taken proper steps to fight with this type of problem. And very unfortunate, one lady has died at the railway station. 2 people have died at the other place you have mentioned. So this no meeting has been called. Flood control people have not been called. The PWD people has not been called. There is a proper meeting has to be held by the Chief Minister of Delhi. Earlier there was Sheila Dixit was there. 3-4 times before monsoon meetings were held. So this is the type of careless attitude by the government.
Right. And as I was mentioning earlier as well, as politics continues, but the fact of the matter is that such instances continue to repeat itself. Right.
Other political parties, right? And in the Delhi also they have their own government. In MCD also they have their own government. Mayor Sahiba goes to every day on different places. Just have a photograph on the newspaper, and that is the only work they have done. There is nothing has been done as far as the situations are concerned.
Right. Let me go across to Mr. KJ Ramesh, former director of the IMD. Talk to us about how much of this is an impact of climate change, given the fact that many people are saying that it's actually a welcome sign that monsoon has arrived earlier. But the fact that the trend and the patterns are really changing almost every year. How much of this should be a concern as well, given the fact that many would call it a very visible impact of climate change?
Yeah, visible impact of climate change is in terms of the intensity of heavy rainfall and spread of intensity of heavy rainfall and duration of the intensity of heavy rainfall. All the 3 factors are increasing in terms of their strength, intensity and extent. So you would hardly see in the past that the whole of North India, whole of hill states, Northeast India simultaneously getting heavy rainfall spells. So that is unusual. So that all that is responsible because of the warming. Global warming makes atmosphere to hold more water content, more clouds, and more clouds will have more water and heavy rainfall associated with it. So definitely it is accentuated by the climate change.
Right. And as you mentioned, it's accentuated by the climate change, and that should be a big concern as well. Mr. G.P. Sharma, if I can go back to you, the weather in the hills is a big concern, given the fact that now we are seeing there's a flash flood warning, also landslides are a big worry. What is your prediction about the weather in the hills in the coming days? Will it continue to be as bad as it is right now?
Oh, yes, it will. You see, most difficult thing, be it any numerical models which we run, otherwise, prediction in the hills becomes very, very difficult, okay? Because it's not a normal terrain. The mountainous terrain, orographic features, they all add to the degree of difficulty which we have in forecasting, in prediction. And the first burst of monsoon over the hills, obviously, it brings up plenty of change, and then we can expect. Monsoon in one go has covered complete almost Uttarakhand. It has half of Himachal Pradesh, even included made ingress over Jammu Kashmir region. And that's what the first ingress of the monsoon is filled with lot of difficulties as far as the terrain is concerned. You see, it rains elsewhere and the floods comes somewhere else because all because of the terrain, difficulty of terrain as such. And then we can expect this thing to continue. Do you know, I still remember the 2013 when the monsoon had come on 16th of June in one go from Uttar Pradesh. It had covered the entire almost country, including Uttarakhand, and that the tragedy was there. Okay, always the first burst of the monsoon, we should be very, very careful and prepared for that. And it was predicted. It is not that monsoon has suddenly come over these parts and over Delhi a couple of days back, few days back, rather itself. It was definitely expected and before time arrival over Delhi as well as the hilly areas of Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, etc., even parts of Haryana, it was there. Right. Uttarakhand, I always feel a little more fragile as compared to the other states, hilly states, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh and Himachal. This also always is a little more fragile. And then we need to be prepared for this thing anytime and every time. I will say, okay, monsoon will come a little early, a little late, or right. It will, they're all its fury. So, but the preparation should be on. Okay, it is exercise caution for the next few days, extreme caution for the tourists and otherwise for these hilly states and more so for Uttarakhand. Yes.
Right. And Dr. Kuwar Sen, if you can come in on this point very quickly on, as a former mayor of the MCD, what would your advice be to the people, not just of Delhi, but, of also in Mumbai, we're witnessing similar conditions. As somebody who's been in the administration, what would your message be to the people, given the fact that we are bracing for extreme weather?
I think there people should move, if it is required, but it is mandatory to move out. As you've seen on Sunday, there was holiday, that's why the jam was not there. Just to avoid jam in Delhi and to face the problem due to rain, they should move if it is required. Otherwise, so they should stay at home and enjoy the weather. And as far as these problems are concerned, rain and all, if it is very necessary for them, they should go out. Otherwise, so they should come to their room, they should sit at home, and then only they move if they have some urgent work.
Right.
Otherwise, so.
Right. Absolutely. Very important message there. But let me now go across. So thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining us. But let me go across now to Adesh Katyayan, a stranded tourist, in fact, who was there in Himachal. He is still there in Himachal. And, because remember, Himachal is the big worry. And he has, in fact, sent us this video from there. There you can see that key highway from Kullu to Mandi was, in fact, blocked. And several tourists are facing a lot of trouble because roads are affected. Trains have been cancelled as well. There's a landslide flood warning there in Himachal. So it's a big worry for tourists, and this is a time when a lot of tourists are actually there in Himachal. In fact, if we can go across to him, Mr. Adesh Katyayan, who's joining us on the phone line, I'm told. Mr. Katyayan, talk to us about your experience there, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm sure it's a difficult time for you to actually deal with the entire situation in Himachal, unprecedented really. Talk to us about your situation. You were stranded at one of the highways, I'm told.
Yeah. Actually, we were driving up to Kullu yesterday, and around 5:36, we got a call that the Pando section was shut. So we took an alternate route through Command. But as we were approaching this Katindi road, there was a massive landslide in front of us, and that route got jammed. And then there was no alternate, but we had to head back to Mandi. And in the night, overnight, we spent at Mandi. And in the morning, we got the confirmation from the administration and the police people that we should take the alternate route through your Janjeli. So we are just on the way to Kullu now with this alternate route.
Right. Were you expecting, Adesh, this kind of weather? Because it's, as we've been reporting also that monsoon has arrived earlier, before time. So were you ready for this kind of weather?
No, it was very unprecedented, and it was very, very erratic for this time. So we were not expecting, and it was suddenly a very, very heavy downpour.
Right, and also talk to us about what you're seeing around you. Are there rescue operations being on? Because we are being told that a key highway was blocked and many people were stranded as well. So what are the kind of rescue operations? People being evacuated to safer areas?
So most of the police people are all over. They have stopped traffic on the main routes. They are guiding people to not to venture out, and they've just shut down the road. And most of the people I have heard, they are stuck between 4 mile and 7 milestone between Pando and Mandi. So I don't know what's happening with them, but it is a very harrowing time for a lot of people, experiencing a lot of problems and issues, I think so, between that part.
And what is the kind of tourist activity that you're seeing around you? Were you in a group, and how many tourists, roughly do you see? Is there a lot of activity, a lot of tourists there at this point in time?
No, there are more than 500 to 1,000 cars stranded, and everybody has been stopped on the way. And a lot of people were overnight on the roads. They were just stuck on the roads. So it is a situation which is,
And I'm being told trains are cancelled, trains are affected as well. So mobility of tourists is, severely hampered. And also, my last question, that water supply, I'm being told, is also affected there in Himachal. There's a lot of heavy silt, water is loaded with heavy silt there. So those kind of experiences as well?
Heavy silt is there, and there is a lot of landslides that have happened all around. And tourists are just stranded there.
Right, Adesh, thanks so much for joining us, and do stay safe. We hope that you reach home safe, and take care of yourself.